it is Tristan with Nerdouts Newsstand, and I want to talk today about a new report about the first time we are seeing such a sales decline in anime, and I want to kind of go over it. I also want to use this opportunity to clear up a few misinformation tidbits that have been going around, one of which is about One Piece. But if you are new to the channel, make sure you guys hit subscribe. As always, hit like, leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think. We're going to talk One Piece. We're going to talk Batman. But we're really going to talk about Japanese animation having the first decline in sales in decades. So, this was going around quite a while ago, and I didn't really want to address it because I figured people knew better. And the whole thing was, oh my God, it sold more than Batman has. One Piece hit 400 or nearly 500,000 copies, so 490 million copies, right? Which would have outsold Batman at 460 million. Well, a lot of this was false. This was going around and it only covered circulation figures, and circulation figures basically just track the number of copies printed, not necessarily the number sold. So it was based off of false information. Also, 460 million numbers of Batman only counts weekly periodical sales. It only counts the floppies. It ignores collected volumes and digital sales, both which are huge. It ignores omnibuses and compendiums and digital first. And so it just was a lot of information that was going around that wasn't true. But with Batman having a, 60-year jumpstart on One Piece, it is still a pretty amazing feat that it's even getting relatively close. One Piece is something I've never been able to get into. It's one of those that are a little like, wow, there's so much lore already that I don't want to jump into it, which makes me kind of understand why you see people not necessarily wanting to jump into Batman, because there's, 80 years of lore, and there's not, there's 20 something with One Piece, but it's so massive. It's like, where do you start? Same with some of the others like Bleach or Naruto, right? They're huge. But anyways, let's talk about the report for the animation sales for the first drop in decades. Seems like it's a big deal, right? It's really not. It only went from, I think it was 2.3 billion down 1.8%. It's not a big deal. Now, a lot of it probably has to do with the global pandemic, right? Everything got pushed back. Everything got put on hold. And even when this is showing a decline in sales, we're actually seeing kind of that sales being made up when it comes to manga. Now, I do also want to address that again. I've talked about this so much, but unfortunately, it's a topic that keeps coming up. Manga is in the top 20 graphic novel sales. Again, that doesn't include periodicals. That doesn't include compendiums. That doesn't include omnibuses. It doesn't include digital sales. So a lot of that, again, is false information. That is just graphic novels. So right here, we're seeing this, and I don't think it's going to last another year. I do think this year we will definitely see the increase come back up, and it does come just to, show my sources from the Japan Times. It's only 1.8. It's just that it is the first time in decades that it has actually happened. So let's talk about the other issue at hand. And I am going to put a link to a video in the description below. I don't know when it comes to Comic-Con if I can show pro sales numbers. So I would actually have to email John Jackson Miller to find out, and it would be worth doing. But as somebody that personally likes sales numbers, I know not everybody is interested in that. I use them simply because they are factual and they can show you that a lot of what you're hearing, the narrative, is BS. But that doesn't take away from the fact that his manga in anime is doing amazing. It just doesn't take away from that. But if you actually put the numbers, and here's the video right here, I'll show you a little bit. But I'll put it in the link in the description. If you actually show if you compare apples to apples, manga isn't killing Western comics. Dun, dun, dun. It is actually just on par with it. Actually, the number one sold, it would have been now we're talking monthly, right? Would have been Invincible Compendium Volume 1. And that was with almost 1 million in sales by itself. We have stuff like Gwenpool, oddly enough, beating Jujutsu Kaisen. A lot of these are right up in the same area, but because they are called graphic novels, you'll see that used as a narrative. Now, technically, it's not a lie. They are in the top 20 graphic novel, though I know this month some others slipped in. But it's like this. You can't compare graphic novels and not include other forms of distribution, whether it is the direct market or whether it is something like a compendium. Compendiums are generally like $100, bare minimum, $125. Sometimes you can get them on sale. There are some really good websites, but they generate the revenue to keep these companies afloat. And it's pretty amazing that Invincible Compendium Volume 1, 2, and 3 were all in the top 10 last month. Like, that shows you how well that show actually did. It shows you how good it is doing. Same with Something is Killing the Children and King in Black and Heroes Reborn. All of these were, very close to in the top 20. So, not saying that manga's not doing good. I feel like I have to repeat that because people will argue with me in the comments. But I am saying that a lot of the narrative you're hearing is completely false. A lot of the narrative you're hearing is simply, here, look at these sales graphics. Look real quick. Don't actually take into account money. Don't actually take into account page count. Something like My Hero Academia, the newest volume, right? It's less than 200 pages. But compendiums are usually 1,000, right around 1,000. So if you're comparing page count, yes, you're absolutely getting your money worth. Sure, it's more, but it is absolutely viable and just as, hate to break it to you, just as popular as manga. Oh, I know, that's the spirit of the heart, right? I don't know why they have to really be put up against each other. Probably talk more about this on Sunday, but I think it's very interesting. I'm gonna try to find out before then if I can show the pro sales numbers. But even so, it's very interesting to be able to go through the actual facts, the actual numbers from Diamond, the actual numbers, and dig into them and be able to show that the narrative that's being sold to you is blatantly 100% false. I know it kills some of you. I understand that. But there's no reason why you have to wage one against the other. There's absolutely not. You can enjoy both. You can enjoy one. You can enjoy the other. It doesn't have to be a battle. It absolutely doesn't. So, I think I'm going to find out about being able to show these numbers. And the numbers are in for, I believe this is June. It is June. And it's showing like stuff like Venom. This is a single floppy. You have to remember that. And it's the variant game for stuff like that. Spawn Universe and then Spawn King #1, which will be next month. It should be next month. Absolutely selling amazing things, but also at the same time using scams to kind of do so. So, not a big deal. Anyways, so yeah, that was the whole point of this. I know it got kind of off subject, but yes, animation sales are down. Comic book compendium sales and others are up. Kind of a good thing. Not necessarily for animation, but I have no doubts that it'll just absolutely go back up in a minute. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.